The Colombian Civil War has turned hot again, and it's spilled into Venezuela again. There's renewed fighting between the National Liberation Army, aka the ELN, and the 33rd Front of FARC Dissidents. Remember, most of the old FARC guerrilla army, quasi-state terror machine, demobilized and became a political party almost a decade ago, but a large minority of the guerrilla army broke away and decided to continue the war. Their rhetoric is Marxist-Leninist, but their forever war is about money. There's still money to be made with the drug production and trade routes that they've controlled for decades. Also, the old guards, as well as the child soldiers who grew up in this war machine, only know drug trafficking and war. That's all that they know. It's the same story with the ELN, and their peace talks with the Colombian government in late 2022 went nowhere. The ELN had been ramping up operations for months at the latter end of 2024. In November, the Colombian Ombudsman's Office reported an upsurge in assassinations, kidnappings, and child recruitment. Then, on January 16th, the ELN launched their offensive against the FARC dissidents in the entire Catatumbo region of Colombia, near the Venezuelan border. In order to take the FARC dissidents by surprise, these ELN columns entered Venezuela from the south and headed north to then cross back into Colombia and hit the FARC dissidents. Now, the guerrillas are fighting on both sides of the border. This war is messy because it's not like the old days where armed bands just shot it out in the jungle. On both sides of the border, the guerrilla armies are entrenched in local communities, controlling hospitals and public schools and other public places. A lot of them dress in civilian clothes when they're in town, so civilians have been getting hit by people on either side who think they're enemy guerrillas or associated with enemy guerrillas. Both the Colombian and Venezuelan armies are now deployed to the border regions for peacekeeping operations, which means to fight the guerrillas because they usually don't leave quietly. On January 25th, Maduro's defense minister, Vladimir Padrino Lopez, met with the Colombian defense minister, Ivan Velázquez, about coordinating efforts to facilitate the capture of ELN leaders in Venezuela. This is basically Gustavo Petro throwing Maduro a lifeline. The timing of these events is really convenient for Maduro, considering he stole the July 2024 presidential election and banished President-elect Edmundo Gonzalez to exile. On January 10, 2025, Maduro was sworn in by the illegitimate Chavista Supreme Court, and he's now in his third term in office, which is his second term as a usurper. Credible accusations are flying around the Venezuelan exile media sphere that Maduro used his intelligence networks to reignite the border conflict as a shield to protect his continued usurpation of state power. This border war was reignited only 4 days before Donald Trump was sworn into office as President of the United States. Maduro is nervous about him because Trump's administration was tougher on him than the Biden administration, and he knows Secretary of State Marco Rubio, son of Cuban exiles, will be a lot tougher on him than Anthony Blinken was. Also, American mercenary CEOs like Eric Prince and Matthew Van Dyke have been running their mouths on social media about the very somewhat possible, maybe hypothetically probable, military operation to liberate Venezuela. Both of these American veterans know what operational security is, that is, keeping your mouth shut so that the enemy doesn't know what you're doing. So the fact that they're talking about it on social media means that they're probably not really going to do anything anytime soon. However, Maduro is paranoid and he has to cover his bases. And what is the best defense against this hypothetical land invasion of American mercenaries and Venezuelan exiles? A war on the border, where two countries already have their armies deployed. Furthermore, even though Gustavo Petro, the ex-guerrilla, is sympathetic to Maduro, Colombia is still an American ally. That means that the US troops already in Colombia have to respect Colombian sovereignty and let them do their thing, even though we all know it's helping Maduro. Thank you for watching Venezuela Explained. In a few days there will be another video talking about Edmundo Gonzalez and what he's doing, whether or not he's going to have a military intervention in Venezuela. He's not. And the status of political prisoners. If you haven't already done so, please hit like and subscribe and leave a comment. It really does help out this channel with the algorithms. Have a great day or a great evening wherever you may be.